You know that person, right? The one who's absolutely brilliant on paper, but whose personal life is, well, kind of a disaster? Or have you ever seen a group of super smart people get together and make a decision that is just bafflingly bad? Well, today we are diving deep into that exact thing, the paradox of being smart. We're going to explore why being intelligent doesn't automatically make you wise, and how sometimes our biggest strengths can turn into our biggest weaknesses. Let's get into it.
This quote right here just nails it. It really gets to the core of what we're talking about. It's this wild idea that your own intelligence, the very thing you're proud of, can actually loop back on itself and trip you up. And there's no place you see this more clearly than when it happens to an entire group of people.
So, picture this, a boardroom full of the best and the brightest, highly accomplished, top of their field. And yet, the decision they come up with is a total catastrophe. So how does that happen? Well, it's not just a fluke, it's a psychological trap that shows how even the sharpest minds can get tangled up when they think together.
And there's a name for it, groupthink. It was coined way back in the 70s by a social psychologist named Irving Janis. And what it means, really, is that the need to fit in, the pressure to just agree with everyone, starts to overpower the need to actually be right. It's when harmony becomes more important than truth.
Now, groupthink isn't some random thing that just happens. Oh no, it grows in very specific conditions. It's like a recipe for bad decisions. You take a bunch of people who all think alike, you seal them off from any outside perspectives, and you don't give them any clear rules. And voila, you've created the perfect storm for collective intelligence to just fail.
And you can actually see this play out in real time. In one study, researchers put two groups under a ton of pressure. The control group, they managed to work things out pretty calmly. But the other group, the experimental one, you see all the classic signs of groupthink just explode. People get confused, nobody can make a decision, one person starts dominating, the whole thing just unravels.
So, the bottom line is, groupthink essentially gives us collective blinders. We just stop even looking for other possibilities, and we end up doing things that to anyone on the outside look completely irrational. But okay, if that's what happens when smart people get together, what happens when we're all on our own? All right, so now we're going to zoom in. We're going from the group to the individual. And this is where we really hit the core of the paradox. Why is it that being highly intelligent can actually get in the way of emotional growth and making truly wise choices?
This quote from Professor R.J. Starr just says it all, doesn't it? Your brain power isn't some shield that protects you from life's messes. In fact, for a lot of really smart people, their powerful, analytical mind becomes the exact tool they use to avoid dealing with their feelings. It's like a really sophisticated defense mechanism.
Now, to really get this, we've got to look at how our brains are wired. Think of it like this. You have two operating systems. System 1 is your gut. It's fast, it's automatic, it's emotional. System 2 is your conscious mind. It's slow, careful, and analytical. We need both, for sure, but they're built for completely different jobs. And here it is. Here is the trap. People who are told their whole lives how smart they are get really, really good at using that analytical System 2 mind. But here's the thing. Our emotions, our relationships, our fears, that's System 1 territory. Trying to solve a broken heart like it's a logic puzzle is like trying to fix a delicate watch with a sledgehammer. You're using the wrong tool for the job, and you're just going to make things worse.
And that powerful intellect can be used in some really sneaky ways to avoid feeling pain. A sharp mind is great at rationalizing bad decisions, at winning an argument just to get out of taking responsibility, or, and this is a big one, analyzing feelings from a safe distance instead of actually, feeling them. It keeps you in control, but it stops you from ever really growing up emotionally.
This all points to a much deeper conflict, one that's been talked about for thousands of years. It's not a battle between people, it's the one happening inside all of us. The constant struggle between the chattering, anxious mind and the quiet, steady wisdom of the heart. Spiritual traditions have all sorts of names for this. On one side, you got the monkey mind. That's the voice in your head that never shuts up, right? It's always scanning for danger, worrying, judging. But then, on the other side, you have the spiritual heart. That's your true core, your inner being. It's where real wisdom comes from. And when that monkey mind is constantly running the show, well, life starts to feel a lot like this image. It just leads to a state of nonstop stress, making bad choices, and feeling completely drained. You end up living on high alert all the time, totally cut off from your own deeper self. So what's the real cost of living this way? Let's break it down. What is the actual price we pay when we let our clever mind call all the shots and ignore that deeper knowing in our heart?
And believe me, the price is high. When the mind is in charge, you tend to see the world negatively. You worry all the time. You're frustrated and irritable. It feels impossible to ever truly relax or focus. And maybe the biggest cost of all, you miss out on a real sense of peace, joy, and meaning in your life.
This quote just brings it all home. Being clever, in the worldly sense, doesn't bring you happiness if it's not balanced with that deeper wisdom. It just makes you restless, always in conflict with yourself. You become a slave to your own ego, and it covers up the light of your true self.
But, and this is a really important but, there is another way. The answer isn't to be less smart. It's to learn how to blend our intelligence with a totally different kind of knowing. It's about learning to tune in and follow the wisdom of your heart.
This is it. This is the fundamental shift. It's about changing our inner guidance system, moving it away from the noisy, reactive mind and toward the deep, quiet, intuitive wisdom that comes from the heart. It's a much more balanced and authentic way to live.
When we start to activate this incredible intelligence we all have in our hearts, our thinking actually becomes clearer, more coherent, and our choices get better. I mean, think about it. Have you ever had a gut feeling about something? A feeling that went against all logic, but you followed it and it turned out to be exactly right? That's it. That's a little taste of this heart wisdom at work.
Okay, now this is a really, really important point. Following your heart's wisdom is not the same as just being impulsively emotional. Actually, a lot of the crazy, irrational things we do are driven by those reactive emotions when the monkey mind is still at the controls. True heart wisdom feels different. It's calm, it's clear, it's centered.
So, the big question is, how do we make this shift? How do we actually access this deeper wisdom that's waiting inside us? Well, the final step is all about changing how we think about the journey itself. It's not about building something new, it's about uncovering what's already there.
I just love this metaphor because it's so perfect. Our inner light, our true wisdom, it's always there, just like the sun. Our job isn't to create it. Our job is just to clean the windows, to wipe away all the smudges of ego, of fear, of that endless mental chatter, so that the light that is already inside of us can finally shine through.
So, I'll leave you with this question. We've seen how thinking with the group can lead us astray, and how even our own powerful intellect can trick us. So if you can get quiet, just for a moment, and listen past all that noise, what is that deeper, wiser part of you, your inner light, trying to tell you right now?